So, hi all. I am here with Miss Maylee, and I wanted to just talk about her a little bit. Those of you guys who have been reading some of the channel comments and my responses to some of the comments, or have watched my last video where I did the theme Thursday, I was really, I was just talking about Maylee and just this whole incident with my husband that surprised me. But I thought I would just shoot a separate video about it because it was, yeah. And just to let you guys know a little bit about kind of how, just my process and my struggle with this baby doll, and then, and just how I'm feeling about things now. So, anyway, I told the whole story in my other video about how, I had kind of a challenging adoption process with her. So she was advertised on Dolphin. The seller that I bought her from, the communication wasn't the greatest. And I was actually worried that I had maybe been scammed. I was worried about whether Maylee was actually going to end up showing up on my doorstep or not. And then, just when I was like kind of at the height of worry, she did respond back and said that the baby had been shipped, and then a couple days after that, the baby arrived. And so, but she never provided a tracking number. So there's just a lot of stress and anxiety that I was going through before Maylee arrived. And so after she got here, and then when I opened the box, and I did post my box opening, it was, she was not wrapped with care. She did have a blanket around her, but the baby was clearly sort of falling apart. Like, she had these beads that were literally coming out of her neck. When I picked her up, her hair was a complete mess, and all these things. So there were just a number of things, with her that when I got her, I was just like, whoa, like, definitely not in the best condition. So I'd shared, I did have to take some time to really spruce her up. I gave her a shampoo, washed her limbs with just some gentle baby shampoo, and I ended up completely dumping out all the stuffing that she had in her body and reweighting her, and trying to just trying to spruce her up a little bit. And so, once that was all done, I think the thing with her that, has been hard for me to get used to is just the dragon skin silicone. But you can see just by how I'm squeezing it that, it's still silicone, so you can still squeeze it for sure. And it definitely has a different feel than vinyl. There are a lot of ladies who actually prefer the firmer dragon skin. It definitely does feel more durable, like less fragile than the EcoFlex. And then I think, with this baby, she's balding a little bit in the back. If I style her hair a little bit, it doesn't show quite as much. But I wanted to share, I think I might have also shared in my video that, I had messaged with her sort of original, or I guess her second mommy, who sold her on eBay, to the seller who sold her to me. And, it looked like that mommy had owned her the longest. Like, so Maylees History she's a Tasha Edenholm silicone baby. I think she was part of an edition of 10 plus 2 artist proofs, perhaps. And then, and then basically the first mommy only owned her for a couple weeks and then ended up selling her. So the second mommy, so really basically received her brand new. And she owned her from 2008 to like November 2015. So a really long time. And what she told me, and we were actually messaging with each other on eBay, she told me that she was her most prized baby in her collection. And she really was a display baby for her. She didn't really play with her that much, but she was really like the best baby that she had. And this baby, I think, originally had a retail value of probably a couple $1,000s, which was, I think back then, pretty expensive for a baby. So anyway, and I think that she told me she had needed to raise money for a down payment, on their house, and there were a number of different expenses, so she had to sell Maylee at the time. And then, so her last owner had her last mommy, I want to say owner, her last mommy had her for about a year and a half, and then sold her to me. But yeah, it was interesting. Like her second mommy basically said, oh, that it made her really sad that, Maylee hadn't been maybe looked after all that well, and, things like that. So she just, definitely felt sad about it. And, I was actually messaging with her to see if she might have like a photo of the COA, or, anything like that I might be able to reference, especially since, her most recent mommy did not send her with any paperwork. So anyhow, fast forward, so, as you guys know, I got her a couple weeks ago. She had been mostly just kind of hanging out here on, she kind of lives on this newborn boppy pillow when I'm, not, when I'm not shooting a video with another baby. So she just kind of generally hangs out here. And I just found myself not really having the urge to pick her up, not wanting to interact with her. She does have a little bit of a baby powdery smell, which is sort of bothering me. She's, her head, is super heavy. I think, probably I'm trying to think if she might be even heavier than Arya and Isla. I think she might be, or I don't know. Her head feels, proportionally speaking, pretty heavy. So there's just like a bunch of little things that were sort of bugging me. And, and I thought to myself, well, all things are just leading to me selling this baby. Like, I really should sell this baby. I have more babies coming, I have the Silicone baby coming. I have a couple more customs that I'm doing with Melissa George, and she's working on for me. And I'm also making babies too. I'm reborning and painting babies myself. So I'm like, gosh, I could really use the funds. So I kind of thought, I should sell her and, let a mommy adopt her who, would really cherish her more than I am. And I just felt this feeling of guilt. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever felt that when you buy a baby and you're not bonding, and you just feel so bad. Like, kind of bad that you spent the money, but then also feeling sort of sorry for the baby, even though this is just a doll. She doesn't have feelings, really. But feeling sort of sorry that, she's not getting the attention in the nursery that she deserves, especially compared to the other babies. So that was really how I was feeling. And I had actually started composing a message to her second mommy, the one who owned her the longest, on eBay. And I was going to, and I wasn't sure how, I wouldn't be able to sell to her off of eBay. We don't know each other. We don't have each other's contact information, and it's against eBay's policy. But I was thinking of listing her on eBay, and maybe with a buy it now, and then letting this mommy know about it first, before I advertise it anywhere, and giving her a chance to maybe adopt her back. So that was something I was thinking about very seriously. And I started actually composing this email because it sounded like she really cherished this baby, and I just thought, it might be nice to give her sort of the first option to buy her back. And I know, Stephanie actually had a very interesting video recently on her channel about, is there a baby that she sold? I mean, that was a different video, but it was basically like, was there a baby that she had painted and sold that she would actually buy back? Like, would she buy back her own work? I thought that was a really interesting video. But anyway, just kind of that idea behind, if somebody once loved the baby, that they would, that they probably still love that baby and would love to have her back. So I was composing this email, and then I just kind of picked her up and brought her over to my husband, and I was like, so honey, I'm thinking of selling this baby because, I haven't really, I don't know, I haven't really bonded to her. I haven't really been picking her up and things like that. And then, it's really cute because, like, normally, my husband is actually very supportive of my hobby as far as spouses and significant others go. So I feel very lucky in that respect. But, he never has really, like, before we did our construction project and we were trying to really majorly downsize, he did not like the first three reborns I had in my collection. They were all Asian babies. I think I mentioned this. Two of them were the lotus sculpt, and one of them was, oh my gosh, and I am just drawing a blank. One of them was, I think it was the Li Hua sculpt by Sabia Bose. And the Lotus sculpt is, of course, by Adri Stote. So he did not like those babies. He did not think they were cute. And he was like, can we get rid of these? And, so I kind of thought, he'll probably be happy and relieved that I want to actually sell a baby and downsize a little bit, because our house is not very big. Even after we did the project, it's still not very big. So we do have limited space, and the babies have kind of taken over a couple of the rooms in the house. So I kind of expected him to just say, yeah, go for it. And his response just really surprised me. He said, oh, really, you're thinking of selling her? She's like, one of the only Asian ones that you have, and she's silicone, and she's hard to find, and and she's just, he's like, I like it. I like her. I was like, really? And so we had this conversation, and then he kind of was like looking at her face, and he was like, yeah, she's really cute. She looks like, kind of helpless. Like she's kind of got this very sweet, sort of helpless expression. And I was like, oh, you're right. Yeah. And so, but yeah, he was saying, he's like, yeah, you should keep her. He's like, you should keep her. She's really cute. So that was his feedback. I was just, I was very touched actually, because he doesn't normally, like, I'm going to start to kind of show her sideways so you guys can see her whole body. Sorry for the shadow. Because he doesn't normally take such an interest, in my collection. He kind of just is sort of like, oh, whatever, do what you want, usually, with regards to my dolls and babies. But so it was really cute that he actually had an opinion, and he wanted me to keep her, and he likes this baby. So I would love to hear your comments, or if you want to shoot a video, with your thoughts on this. But like, I'm wondering if anybody else's spouse or significant other has not wanted you to let a baby go. Like if, they have actually, grown some attachment to a baby, and, and didn't want you to let a baby go. So yeah, but that just floored me. I was completely taken aback and just extremely surprised when he said that. And I thought it was really sweet, really cute. So yeah, so Maylee is staying, guys. And it's interesting, like after he, said all those comments and kind of said like why he liked her, and all these things, and looking her, and I love to look at her. She is extremely cute. Like she has a very cute expression, and he, but yeah, he kind of just had, after he sort of just shared like what he liked about her, and just basically said, no, you shouldn't sell her, you should keep her. I don't know what it was, but it did kind of help me look at her with, sort of new eyes in a way, and trying to put like some of the baggage behind me in terms of how she arrived, and remembering what condition she came in, and just the first impression, the first initial impression I had with her. Because you guys have seen my other box openings with Clara, with Maddie, with Indy, with a lot of these babies that I got. It was like love at first sight, and it was just just an instant bond, instant connection. I felt the same way with Emery May and Melina and my Millie, who's my Olive, by Sandy Faber. Like, usually I have that instant connection, and with her, it didn't happen, and it really sort of annoyed me and frustrated me, because I wanted so much to love her. I mean, she was also just a wonderful deal too, of course, and that is, that's great too. And so I didn't want to have to sell her, because I wouldn't, I mean, I guess I could have sold her for what I paid for her, but it also felt like she was worth more than that, and, sort of devaluing her, and I don't know. I just had all these mixed feelings about that. But, and I think part of it is for me too, that this is the first baby that I've purchased secondhand, and I shared in probably one of my other videos, I am a little bit of a germaphobe, so it's, yeah, so it's just hard for me to like, kind of not think about where that baby might have been before. And I know that sounds like incredibly nuts to some of you guys who are like, yeah, whatever, I buy stuff from garage sales and thrift stores all the time. And I'm like, more power to you, because you can save so much money that way buying secondhand. And these secondhand dolls and babies, they usually can get them for a much better price. And especially these days with the price of silicones going up. I don't know if you guys have seen, there are 2 auctions on eBay right now for like just 2 incredibly stunning babies. Romy Stridham's has a new silicone edition out, and I think the baby's name is Brinley's, a full body silicone, open-eyed girl, and she's really adorable, and she's going to be, I think, 1 of 7. And then Andrea Arcello, who obviously is the artist behind Aria and Isla, she has a new silicone edition as well, and it's a newborn size, closed eye, sleeping baby girl, newborn, really cute. I think her name is Eleanor. So, but wow, I mean, the prices of these babies are not cheap, certainly not, not anywhere in the ballpark of, what I got, Maylee for. So, and even when I paid for, Aria and Isla, they were much more affordable. And I know that prices go up. I know prices change, and it's something that, I guess is to be expected and is normal and natural in some respects. But still, I was like, wow, that's pretty nuts. That just the prices of babies these days. But sorry, I don't mean to ramble and digress here, but the point being, you can save a lot of money by buying on the second-hand market, and you can acquire some beautiful babies for a more reasonable price than if you were to purchase them, brand new, from the artist. Sometimes I've seen also people who listed babies at a higher price than what they actually paid for them from the artist. And there was one baby that I saw, and I know how much the artist originally priced that baby. It was in the Silicone for sale section on Dolphin, and then the baby was sold just like that. And I think the seller definitely marked that baby up like 20, at least 25%, maybe like 30% over what she originally paid for that baby. So she actually ended up making money. So I thought that was really interesting, that the baby sold that quickly, and I think it is because the prices of silicones have gone up. But I don't mean to get off the topic too much, but I did want to just say that Maylee is staying, and I know a lot of you guys like her, and but you guys have also been super sweet with your comments and understanding of just this whole situation with the bonding and how it's been difficult. So I really appreciate it. And yeah, but I am pleased to say that she is staying. And last night, after I did want to share, after my husband had made the comment, I did hold her. A lot of times when I'm watching TV, if I'm not painting, like let's say it's late and I'm just tired and I don't want to paint, I will hold a baby and watch TV. And I went ahead, I changed her into the sleeper. She had been wearing her Theme Thursday super cute outfit, and I really like this sleeper on her. Actually, this is not I think this is just a Carter's Just One U. Is it Just One U? It's the Target brand of Carter's that they carry, so it's not a fancy brand or anything, but I think the color pink looks really cute on her. She's got very pale skin, very pale complexion. Look at her, she's so cute. So yeah, so I held her, and I held her for a really long time, and I think it helped the bond. I really do. So I'm gonna give this little girl a chance. I am, and if we don't really ever forge that super strong of a bond, maybe she just remains my husband's baby. He probably would never admit that it's her baby. That it's his baby, but he's the one who likes her and convinced me to keep her. So she is staying in the nursery, and I'm going to keep her name as Maylee. I can't really think of her as any other name at this point. Who knows? Maybe I'll change it at some point. But But yeah, this little girl has been through a lot. She's had a lot of mommies, and I just want to give her a chance. I do, and see if my love for her can grow. And yeah, so anyhow, I'll stop here before the video gets too long. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and we'll talk soon. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.